quiet.
Serendipity is one of my favorite words. And here's a guy that I've wanted to talk to on tape for a very long time. Jackie Stone, how are you, buddy?
Doing fine.
I'm doing fine, too. He just told me he's as healthy as a horse.
That's what the doctors say.
I love it. Doctor says, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it.
You got it. I go there and sometimes he'll look at the chart and he gets all done. He throws his pencil in the air and says, I don't know, Jack. Keep doing what you're doing because you're doing it right. You're staying healthy. So
I love it. It just happens that it didn't just happen because I invited myself up here. We're at Stone Smokehouse, home of Zach's Venison Snacks. I love that. Right up here in the Sand Road Woods Mills, right?
that's it.
Katie'ville, not far from the Gatto Road, not far from where I live. So Calvin picked me up and we steamed up here to chat with you for a while. Some of our viewers won't know who you are. Most of our viewers, most everybody within 150 miles of here knows exactly who Jack Stone is.
Been around a little bit.
But he's sitting this way because of a terrible accident. Before this happened, what year?
83.
Was it 83? I couldn't remember what year it was. Before this happened, this was the most ambitious, energetic guy in the world. And guess what? He's still ambitious and he's still energetic.
Just do it on wheels.
Yeah, we used to watch him in the stock car races, and then a terrible thing happened. Just let's go back in time and let people know, you know?
Well, when I was young in my 20s, I liked to race on the ice with snowmobiles. Just drag racing. It was fun, it was fast, and in the wintertime, February is slow business time of the year, so I could go play and have fun. So then I caught sight of my friends at the Airborne Speedway. I looked at the stock cars and I said, boy, these are safer than that snowmobile, because I fell off my snowmobile at 75 miles an hour, and I did some tumbling. I was sore for a few weeks. So I started the stock car business and said, this is safe, roll bars everywhere.
Sure.
Have a good time. Had fun, kept going around and around, and first thing you know, something happened, and I was on a Saturday night, and I went into turn one, and one of the boys hit me from behind. Vernon Bruno, a good friend of mine, he still is today. And we hit, and we flew up in the air. I rolled, and I ended up with my neck broken, and he tipped his car over, and he was all right, but still to this day, he comes over, I butcher his deer for him in the fall. He's got a couple sons, and they're coming over. They race go-karts, and I sponsor them, and they're just like family.
You know, you can't blame anybody for something that happens like that because that's just a cruel twist of fate.
When you start pointing fingers at people, you start hurting everybody.
Yeah.
You can't hurt nobody. I mean, we was out there having fun.
Yeah.
It's like playing a game. You break your finger, break your arm with your brother and your buddies. What do you blame? Nobody? Or everybody? I don't blame nobody.
You've done so many things since that time, and on this program, we're going to spend a lot of time tracing your life before that, up to that moment, what it felt like and what it feels like today. What, 23 years later?
Yeah, almost 23 years this
Almost
August.
23 years later. Do you ever make it back to the races?
Oh yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, Mike Fridays give me a slip to get in anytime I want.
I would say so. Just wind up that wheelchair and crash the gate.
Yeah, I think he gives me I got a ticket. I got an open house ticket anytime I want to go.
That's great. Well, Airborne's been there for a long time, and we've had so much fun doing 2 or 3 programs with the old drivers, as I told you.
Yeah.
And maybe one of these days we'll get a bunch of them up here and we can really crank it up, huh?
There you go.
From 1983. When did you start racing?
1980, I was 79.
So about 3-4 years?
Yeah.
We found a picture, and we're going to show it in a few minutes, and we're going to do a lot of chatting today. We're going to pause and make sure the camera's working all right, and then we'll continue, okay?
You got it.
Jack Stone. We found a picture of 88.
You got it.
Now, how long did it take you to build that?
It was a car that was somebody else built it. I was told that. I think it was what's a Brunel? I think it was an old Bob Brunel car from years and years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that we had that
old
one.
blacktopping car?
Yeah, and we took it and patched it up and made it into a dirt car. It wasn't hard to make a dirt car. It's hard to make an asphalt car.
Yeah.
But the dirt car, we made it, and we were having fun.
Did you race on both surfaces?
No, I just raced on dirt.
Did you?
Yeah. And I didn't, well, there wasn't any tarmac tracks around at the time. When the dirt went out, a couple years after I got hurt, they went back to tarmac.
You never went to Catamount?
Yeah, right there. I was there the night that all the bleachers fell down.
That was quite a time, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was night Beaver Dragon did a flip from turn 4 to turn 1.
Oh, boy.
He flipped all about 6 or 8 times, and then an hour or so later, he come on the microphone. He says, "For everybody that didn't see that, don't expect me to do it again."
Yeah, there won't be a repeat performance. No slow motion replay, right?
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, boy. So anyway, were you born and brought up right around here?
I was born in New York City.
Come on, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Queens Hospital. It's just my mom was down there at the time. That's what happened. But other than that, I've lived here all my life. I went to California and lived for when I was young, when my mom and dad moved there when I was 9 years old for a year. Then we moved back here, and then I grew up, and after I got married, my first wife, I was married for 3 years to her. We moved to Colorado for a little while. Things didn't work out, and I came back home and I got divorced from her. And after I got divorced, I got custody of my 2 daughters, Heather and Hillary. And I married another girl, Mary, from Mary Poinier, from up in Taylor Pond area.
Oh, right.
And her and I raised my 2 daughters up, and back 10 years ago, this August, Mary passed away.
Yeah, no, that was a very sad time. Very, very, very sad time. You know, if it weren't for bad luck, Jack, you wouldn't have any luck at all, right?
I wouldn't have much, I'll tell you.
But you know what? You take a licking and keep on ticking.
Yeah,
When the phone rang the other day, you said, "Guess who this is?" And of course, I'm looking at my phone. It says Jack Stone.
Yeah.
So I knew exactly who it was. And I also recognized your voice. I have no idea why you called me besides to say hello. I guess you wanted to tell me about the website, huh?
Yeah, that's something we just started, but the reason I was calling is I hear you talking a lot about Michigan sauce.
Oh, yes. I have to talk about Michigan sauce.
Well, we wanted to put Michigan sauce on the website, and we tried to put it on, and we talked about getting the local person that's making it to put it on with us, and we weren't getting to what we wanted out of it, so I asked my inspector if I could make it. He said, "Sure, if you want to make it out of bison or venison or elk, because I got an exotic meat license." So,
Oh, that's right, too, yeah.
so I said, heck, we tried it with bison, and, well, we're going to do it.
This is truly amazing. Let's go back in time just a little bit to when you started the smokehouse, the slaughterhouse.
Well,
When was that?
in 1979, I bought Donald Newell's slaughterhouse. But to give you an example,
What a guy he was, huh?
oh yeah,
Oh, talk about North Country characters.
I learned a lot from him, really a lot.
When he was a young guy, he was one of the strongest men I ever saw. When he was a young guy, he was a good ball player. He coached a lot of kids in baseball around here, up at the Legion and various other teams. He loved kids. And he lived right next door to me.
Yeah.
And one of my little grandsons, who was later killed in a car crash, used to call him, say, "Papa, I'm going next door to go see Mr. Noodle."
Oh, dear.
Called him Mr. Noodle. But he was quite a guy. He had diabetes and later died. But when he was a young guy, he could pick up a side of beef. And
Well, he taught me, and a lot of that wasn't the strength you need, it's the way you did it, because I ended up being the same way. It was just a talent of how to grab something. It's like furniture. See, watch somebody pick up a couch, can walk around with it, and you can't even pick up one side and they're carrying it around. Beef is the same way. But he was a strong fellow. He taught me a lot about that place. I was 12 years old when I first started thinking about butchering.
come on.
12 years old, and I'll tell you where it started in Peru. Coward Prey, Bucky Prey they called him. He had a little butcher shop up there, and when I was 12 in the September, my mom and dad had raised a cow and they were going to butcher it. But they didn't want us kids home from school. So they were supposed to butcher it in the afternoon. Well, we got home just as it was happening off the school bus. So I got Bessie, my cow, I watched her get butchered. But I was kind of curious for that. And, well, make a long story short, I got a job working at the butcher shop about a couple weeks later. When we went up to get our cow cut up, he was complaining nobody wanted to work, and I always liked to work anyway. Anything to make $1, so I started washing pans and cleaning trays, and once in a while I'd get to cut some meat off the bones. So from then on, all the way to today, I don't like to say it, but it's been almost 40 years.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
But then you already said you were just a little kid when you were first interested in it. But you got the slaughterhouse in '79 then,
Yeah, from
Don Newell.
yeah.
He was well known in this area.
And he was inspected USDA at one time in selling meat, and they said it could never happen again because the laws were strict. But I bought it in '79, and the last part of '80 or early '81, I was inspected again with the thing they say you can't do. Tell me I can't do it, and it's like put me on a start line. I say go.
Well, I've never seen you set your mind to anything that you didn't accomplish, especially in the condition you're in. You're an inspiration for people here in the North Country, and that's why it dawned on me that we better get our cameras up here and chat with you, because people whine when they get a hangnail. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's true. And my mom said when I got hurt, I was crying, whining all myself, and I was saying, why did God leave me like this? Why?
That's the question everybody asks when something happens.
Because my mom turned around and kept telling me, she says, Jack, I don't know why you left here anyways, but I'll tell you this. When you do figure it out, the day you figure it out, you're going to take it and you're going to run with it. And I've been running ever since. And when I get done, like today we're on this, I know some people out there are going to think back and they're going to say, why do I complain when I got a sore back or my arm hurts or something's a little problem when that came in sitting in a chair can you don't complain. That's what I like.
But it does take you a while to figure it out. And for those people who've been recently injured seriously, it's especially difficult for double amputees, for example. You lose your legs or your limbs, in essence, you lost all of yours. Then you have to grieve for a while, and then you do have to sit and think.
I had about 4 years of that. 4 years of grieving.
Did you? Where you said, why am I still around? And
I asked my wife, I was on a ventilator 24 hours a day.
that's right too, yeah.
I begged her to take me off and just let me go. And then one day my two daughters, they're 8 and 9 years old, and they must have heard something about that. Because they come into my bedroom and they said, Daddy, we need you. You can't go nowhere. We need you. We can't go without you. Because something clicked in that little story. There were little words they said. Man, ever since then I'm still here and I'm still doing it.
You know, that's why I quit smoking in 1975. There was a campaign going on in the schools, and our kids came home from school and said, you got to quit smoking because we need you around. We want you to be here for our graduations. We want you to be here when we get married. We want you to be here.
I got the same thing.
And you think about that in the back of your mind, and that's what kept me going.
Well, that's exactly what happened to me doing, because when I first got hurt, I started thinking, well, I'm going to die. And the doctors didn't give me much faith because I was laying there and I didn't want to open my eyes. I wasn't in a coma, but they thought I was. A semi-coma or something. I was just sick of people watching me. Sick of people coming and seeing me. And I just wanted to close my eyes. I was tired of everything. I keep my eyes closed. And I turned around and the doctor started talking. And my doctors and my mom and dad were there, and one doctor said to the other, to my family, says, the next time he goes on a code, because my spinal cord was hurt, and every time they'd move me a little bit, my heart would stop beating.
Oh, gosh.
I had 6 heart attacks.
Oh, my.
They call them heart attacks. What it is just the nerve endings just twitch, and they don't connect right, so your heart stops. So they said the next time he has a code, the best thing is let him go, because he's probably going to be a burden to everybody. So with those few words there and what my daughters told me,
Amazing.
I haven't been a burden to too many.
I don't think so, and unless you consider it a burden when you're telling somebody, hurry up now, we got to get this done, we got something going on here, we got this project to finish.
Yeah, I have a lot of time now. I think back, and I used to never think about older people because I was always running, doing my own thing. But you know something? If anybody out there has got an older relative, somebody up there 70, 80 years old, that's a history book. And if they got their knowledge, boy, listen to it. They can tell you a lot of stuff.
Calvin and I were just talking about that driving up here. Of course, we're very interested in veterans and guys from the Second World War, and we're losing them by the thousands every single day in our nation. And he knows somebody who was in the Battle of the Bulge, and we've interviewed a number of people who were from that that so-called greatest generation, your dad?
My dad's 86. He works every day. He's the same thing. He was in seven invasions, and he got shot 9 times.
No kidding.
Guy's still going.
Does he live
No,
near
wait a minute.
here?
He got shot 7 times. No, he lives in Smithfield, Virginia. He had to move down there because he said there wasn't. In the wintertime, he can't work up here. Dad has to work year-round, so he went down
Don't you love it?
there. He gets aggravated when it gets rain for more than 2 days.
I love it. So it took you about 4 years to get this all straightened out in your mind, and you obviously it's people like you that define the word depression. When something like that happens, you feel like you're in the bottom of the barrel and there's no way to get out of it, right?
Well, when you say bottom of the barrel, I look at it this way. When I get to the bottom of a barrel, all I do is go get another barrel.
I like it. Go get another barrel and try to climb out of that one.
I got it.
But you, after that, then you began to inspire other people. You have a wonderful circle of friends. For a while, did you pull back from your friends? Were they afraid to come and see you?
Yeah, I have a friend of mine. He's passed away now, but Cleo Chamberlain was a good friend of mine. That was my first job I was like 12 years old. Help improve with my dad. We built this house with my dad's a mason. I helped him there, and I worked with him. And after that, I used to always go by his house. He doesn't have that growing up. And when I had the slaughterhouse, he used to come bring beef and pigs there and everything. I used to kill him for him. But after I got hurt, I was hurt maybe 6 years. One day I seen him. We were driving by his house on Bearthorpe Road. We stopped to see him. I got out of the car, and he got me out of the car, and he went over. This is a grown man. He's like 55, 60 years old. And he just started crying like a baby. He says, I'm so upset with myself. I says, what's the matter? He says, you don't know how many times I've drove from my house over in Prue to right up here at the Shingle Street and stopped and had to turn around and go home because he didn't have enough nerve to come see me. He says it hurt him more than it did me, he thinks.
He didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to do. How many times have you heard that? Where the best thing to do is to say nothing. Just stand there and say, we care about you.
It's hard for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's true. When people die, too, they're afraid to go talk to them.
Yeah, it's really bad because I've had other friends come, and after they break the ice and we get together, we're all right then. My biggest thing today is what I like now, because I'll go to the mall, and I'll see somebody down there gawking at me like I'm some kind of freak or something. Can I have more fun with that? You wouldn't believe. You have to see me.
I know you well enough to know that you might handle that situation.
I take I have a bottle of water I put down on the bottom of my chair. I'll go up to these people that are gawking at me. I said, "Okay, buddy, what do you want to do me a favor?" He says, "Whoa, what do you mean?" I says, "I got a bottle of water there. Would you help me get a drink?" He gives me a drink, and then he'll talk to me for a few minutes. I'll tell him my name. He tells me his. First thing you know, it's like we're friends. 2 weeks later, or a month later, I'll be down at the mall, go down at the grocery store or something, and I'll see somebody peeping a horn, yanking himself halfway out the window, starting to wave to me. The same guy that was gawking. It's only because he didn't know.
It's people who don't know, who misunderstand what it's like.
Yep. And it's just no different. I look at it this way. Everybody in this world has got a disability. Think about it. Yours, I can see yours, it's on you wear glasses. That's a disability.
Yeah.
Think about it. You can see mine, it's in a wheelchair. Some people you can't see. Some people can't read very well. Some people can read good but can't remember what they read. That's a disability.
Yeah, sure.
So if you look at it, everybody in this world's got a disability of some sort. When you start pointing at them, hurting them, not feeling, I don't like that. So I always take this disability I got, I let it shine as best I can to help other people that have problems.
Well, you certainly have in so many ways, and we're going to talk all about that. I want you to describe this wheelchair setup that you have here, what you got and how it works and how it suits you.
Well, the first chair I had was just one of the ones that everybody pushed you around, and I hated it.
I bet you did.
I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm in a chair right here sitting like this. Somebody would say, oh, look at that outside. Everybody runs and looks outside.
Yeah, where are you?
I still sit here looking this way.
Yeah.
So now, the new chairs I got, I can put a joystick, I push it to the left and it goes left. I push it to the right, it goes right. Up and it goes forward, back, just about any like.
Get
anybody.
calluses on your lip there for moving
Oh, yeah.
that thing back and forth.
And then I got this little device here, puts in another gear, so I can lower it down.
Oh, look at this.
It'll lower right flat.
Will it?
Yeah. What I do once in a while, because during the course of the day I lower and I come up. A lot of times people see me and wonder why I'm laying back. But when you sit on your butt too long in one spot, if you don't move it, you'll end up getting red or getting a sore. Okay, in order to be healthy, you got to keep moving. It's no different than you sitting. An average person don't sit maybe more than 10 minutes before you have to move.
Sure.
Because you take somebody that sits in a chair all day like a desk job, they're always moving around. Because you just can't sit in one spot for too long.
Now, is it all battery operated?
Yep. There's 2 batteries in it, and it goes about 2 days without, if you don't want to charge it. I keep mine charged every night though, because I never know where I'm going the next day.
So you're always ready. Everything's wheelchair accessible in your house and your business.
Pretty much. Some of the doors are narrow, but we work with them. My fingers take a beating once in a while.
Do they really?
Yeah, they don't fit through the doors good.
And you even take a little ride out near the highway, don't you, every now and again?
I was out there last night with my grandson. I hooked him up in the back chair. We went.
Did you really?
Went and visited one of the neighbors.
That's wonderful. And you're not afraid to get out and about.
No, I had one time I was on the road here and state trooper came and he told me to get out of the road. Kind of a rude way.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
I kind of told him, I says, you know something? I don't mean to be cruel, but I got the right of way, not you. So they got a sign at each end of the road that says, I got the right of way. That's what the yellow sign stands for. He says, you're trying to be smart? I says, no, I'm just trying to tell you the law. He didn't like me, but I don't care. I don't want to sit home all day. Some people, I know what it's like years ago when I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't even get up. I didn't want to get up. But now that I'm up and about, and I'll tell anybody else that's in a chair, if you can get up, it's a pain sometimes to get up when you don't feel good. But once you're up, once you get out, you don't want to get back in. You don't want to go back to bed. You want to stay up. Because every time I've done it, no matter how many times I didn't feel good, no matter how many times it was hard, once you get up and you get out, you feel better.
I'm so glad that we came up here today because it gives a chance for more people to hear your story, Jack Stone. You've had a chance to speak to various groups down through the years, right?
Oh yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that, what that's like.
It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like, how would I say this? Anybody can talk, but sometimes when you talk, a lot of people don't listen. It's like going to the, I listen now, like you go to the kids when they graduate from high school. When I was graduating from high school, I didn't pay attention to any speakers up there. I was too busy thinking of going and getting drunk or having a party afterward or what we're going to do at graduation. But you know something? Now, when you go to a graduation, you sit there when my grandchildren are graduating or my kids are graduated, and you listen to those speakers. You should listen because you know something? When you didn't get somewhere in this world without learning something. The people that our age now, when you talk to the young kids, you're trying to give them a knowledge. If they want to listen, it's so easy to learn.
Sure.
It's learning by your own mistakes is not good. They all say you do, but the best way to do it in this world is learn by somebody else's mistakes.
I like that idea.
It's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
So it's like me. I try to learn from other people's mistakes, and that's why everybody says, "Oh, you're so successful." Because it's not success that makes me here; it's learning by other people's mistakes. Okay, and if you want to smash into a tree to find out that the tree didn't move, well, you can go ahead and do it. But why not hit the tree at all? You've seen somebody else hit the tree didn't move.
Well, I know you inspire people who just walk in here, but you've been actually called to go and give appearances, right? And speak.
They got me for next year. I got in Lake Placid. I got to go to the something like an independent living. It's for all kinds of disabilities for the state of New York. They have a conference in up in Lake Placid. They want me to be one of the speakers up there.
Well, you went up once before and they heard you. You went somewhere.
Yeah, I went to Lake Placid to this show. I thought we were going up there to show off our products, the venison products, and we got in that. They wanted to know more or less of the story because they're trying to teach people to hire the handicapped, hire the disabled people. because they got a lot of goodness in them. They won't be late for work, or they're more devoted to work than a lot of people, because when you get hurt, nobody wants you no more. When I got hurt, nobody wanted nothing to do with me because I was messed up in a chair. But you know something? I had a lot of brains, but I didn't have a place to put them. So I said, one way or another, I'll get back in business, because I wanted to be useful. Well, anyways, this when you go to these places up there in Lake Placid where we were, I started showing my talent of what we had and what we were doing. And now they want me to be a speaker next year to inspire everybody up there, rather than just the few that talk to me.
Maybe there's a book coming out of this sometime.
Yeah, there was over 400 people there.
Wonderful.
And I was painting, and they asked about what I did and how I got hurt, and first thing you know, the big boys there asked me to come back next year to do a whole speech on it for everybody.
You know, there are people, and first of all, I should say that there are people with horrible disabilities who are so brilliant that they change the world of science. You've seen them on television,
that's
you've
true.
seen many interviewed, and some can't. I mean, you're a great talker and a good conversationalist. Some people can't even talk without using the computer to manufacture words, and yet their scientific minds are more brilliant than you and I could ever even dream of, because it's what's in here, you know?
Right. I have a friend, Daniel. He's in the Association of Mouth and Foot Painting Artists. He paints with his foot. But you can't understand him. His mom and his nurse can understand him, but he's mentally retarded to the point that if the average person were to see him, they'd think, boy, he's out of it. He's really nothing there. But they found out through the years how to work with him. He can't talk. He can't walk hardly at all. He wobbles and he walks. Actually, he needs 3-4 feet wide area because he wobbles and he's all over the place. He don't have no control of his arms. But when you set him down, he has control of his foot. He can paint with his foot. After, I'll show you some of his work.
Really?
But they found his success in his foot. 'Cause like everybody has a key to their body. You know, like retarded people, they say they're messed up, they're retarded. Everybody has a key. Just some people can't unlock the goodness out of them. But on Daniel, they unlocked it, and now he paints with his foot. And that boy makes $130,000 a year.
See, think about it. Now there are a lot more resources, whereas people like you and people like him and people like Kevin Kuchar that we know, who inspires everybody.
Yeah.
Kevin's such a good friend and a great guy and a good writer. In the olden days, they were just put to one side. They were institutionalized.
Yeah,
And when they were babies, they were left to die. And nowadays, you hit it right on the head. Unlocking that door, finding the right key
Yep.
to people with autism and various other kinds of disabilities. And some people who are almost vegetables, who have use of their hands, can play the piano brilliantly,
That's
or
true.
do exceptional mathematics and science and paint and sing and draw. You know.
Yep. I have the little girl across the road. Her name is Patty Party. She's probably 40 years old now, 40-some years old. But all through the years, I've lived here for 26 years. And when we first moved here, she's probably the mental capacity of 12, 13 years old. Because there's something was mentally with her. But you know, out of all the people I know in this whole area, that girl right there has got more memory for me and more things for me. My birthday's on February 5th in the middle of the winter. And I've had my name, the people that put it on the radio, and when she hears it, so either her mom or somebody hears it, that night, I've had it before, and it's unbelievable. But she'll take a piece of cardboard or a piece of a brown bag or something, she'll write on a happy birthday, Jack, and she puts it in my mailbox.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
You know, and this
That's
girl,
what it's all about, you know.
you got it, and people like that, you know, how can you never go away without wanting to be around somebody like that?
It's wonderful. Now, how soon was it after? Now, you didn't paint before you got in that terrible stock car accident, right?
Just like high school, I'll paint a little bit just to play, but never, I didn't paint at all.
So how did that transpire? This painting with your mouth stuff.
Well, Nancy Davison was a nurse's aide. She came here, and she still says she didn't do it, but she came in one day and she had just a little bit of paints and paint brushes and that. She said, I guess we're going to try to paint today. I says, what?
How do we do that?
I says, I can't paint. And then you know what she said? She says, I know you can't. That didn't go over well. Telling me I can't do something? Well, guess what?
She knew. She knew where the key was.
There's the key. She unlocked that door. And now out of, there's, in the Association of Mouth and Foot Painting Artists, worldwide, there's about 450 artists in 48 different countries. We have like 90 artists in the United States, and I got to be one of them.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yep, I started...
Some of the artwork I see on greeting cards and things.
Yeah, greeting cards, as well as some of them is getting on wallpaper.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And wrapping paper. So it's really come a long ways. When I first started, when I got in my car accident, I had a lawyer, and the lawyer had a secretary that was buying cards from the Handicap Association.
Yeah.
And she sent me up the address. And in 1989, I was starting to paint. I didn't know there was no such thing as this association, but I was painting, and she sent me an address, so I sent my paintings in with the address. And they said, yeah, you're doing all right, but you're not good enough. Okay, so I kept painting, and I kept sending them in. They said, when you're good enough, you keep sending them in, and we'll talk to you. So I started sending them in 89, 90, 91. In 96, they sent me back a letter. It says, you've been accepted as one of the...
Come on, it took 7 years?
Yeah. 7 years, and then I got accepted, and ever since then, now I get paid to paint. Something I did for fun.
You get paid for a lot of things that most of us would never even dream about.
Well, it's the thing is the way they do it, because they give you a grant. It's a special grant. It says no social programs can benefit by this grant, so I don't have to worry about having to pay income tax or nothing on it. It's just money that comes in, and it helps me live. It helps me buy the paints, buy the canvases, so I don't have to expend my own money to paint.
And do other things that you want to do.
Yeah, you got it. It's helped me pay the bills.
Isn't that just wonderful? How many paintings do you think you've done?
Oh my God.
Hundreds?
Yeah, over hundreds. Yeah, 200, 300, 300 or 400.
And sometimes you spend just a little time, and sometimes you really like what you're doing, and you labor over it and labor over it.
I got some of them I got 40, 50 hours in. Some of them I got an hour in.
Is this a sample right here
Is
in
that-
the fridge?
That's my grandchildren. That's my grandchildren.
Wait a minute, I gotta look over. Oh, look at this. Oh, boy.
Just I got it. Everybody's got grandchildren when you got
How
them.
long do you think people have been putting their children and grandchildren's art on the refrigerator?
I don't know. Mine was on there when my mom was going when I was a kid.
Isn't it just wonderful that? So what's it? Do you remember the first thing you ever tried to paint?
Yeah. Actually, my neighbor Albert across the road here, he's got the painting. He says, someday, Jack, I'm going to be rich with this painting. You know, I don't know if he's going to be rich, but I'd like to buy it back. Because the first one I painted on a piece of glass.
Come on.
We had a storm window. You know, the storm window is the two windows and
Yeah.
two glasses, and I hung it in the doorway right there with the one glass broken, because I took the other glass and I painted on it. And he cut it out and he put it in a frame. Actually, before this is over, maybe we could get it to show it.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
If he's home, I bet you he'd let
So
me
you've
put
got a lot of paintings right up here, and we can travel around a little bit and take a look
Oh,
at
yeah.
some of these paintings
Yeah.
and talk
I got
about
some
them.
here, yeah.
We're going to take a little break, and then we'll look at some Jack Stone art.
There you go. Thanks.
Now we're in the official Stone Art Gallery, and we're going to take a look at all these paintings. You weren't kidding. You've had that mouth of yours going with that brush.
Yeah, from January till March, April, May, and there, because it's cold and everybody else is complaining about how cold it is. I just paint warm pictures. I can't climb a mountain, but I can paint one.
I love it. And knowing you, if you could figure out a way to do it, you'd climb the mountain too.
Oh yeah, they got certain wheelchairs now, but they're a little expensive on my taste. They got ones that can climb stairs. Kind of scary.
Yeah. Well, you're doing pretty darn well with the one you got there right now, but doing these paintings have to make you feel good, because each one is an accomplishment in itself, isn't it?
Yep, it's it's a quiet time for me. It's a comforting time. and it makes you feel like, yeah, you are accomplishing something. Some of them are you like it's a part of history. You can capture it into, you know, kind of in a small moment
Like
in
a
time.
photograph, yeah,
Yeah.
that way, yeah. Well, you thoroughly enjoy doing it. Do you have to have absolute quiet?
No.
No, you don't mind if there are a few distractions here and there?
No, and the funniest thing about painting is, how do you say when photographic memory?
Yeah, photographic memory.
I can take and look at something, can click it in my head, because then I'll turn around and start painting what's in my head, because then I'll think of something else, and a lot of my paintings I can show you 2-3 different pictures in one painting. People say, "Well, I know where that looks familiar." Sure it does, because it's part of your backyard. But the rest of it is part of Texas or part of, you know what I mean?
I've heard of that before, and that's a special talent that artists have. You probably didn't have it when you first started painting, but it's a different way of looking at things, isn't it?
Well, the biggest thing is you can you take a little bit here and you take a little bit there. When you put it all together, it's your own. Then it's nobody else's. It's not a picture of Taylor Pond or, you know, Black Brook or something. What it is, it's yours. And it's nobody else's. It's a little bit of 3 or 4 different places. It's nice that way.
A lot of people paint pictures, and some people do it with their feet, some people do it in the standard way with their hands, and quite a few people, how many in the United States now do it with their mouth?
We got over 90 that are in the association,
But-
with their feet or mouth.
But nobody does it like you do.
Oh no, they're all different. Everybody's got their own talent in their own way.
Yeah. And now let's take a look at some of these paintings, and we're going to talk about each one and what you went through painting it, okay? We're going to let Calvin move the camera a little bit, then we'll start in.
Go ahead.
I wondered where that house was, and then you said, don't you recognize that? That's Taylor Pond. I just finished writing a column last night. And I should tell people that we're recording this on the 30th day of May. Can you believe it's almost June, baby?
Yeah, finally getting some sunshine.
And I just finished writing a column for next Sunday in the Press Republican about picnics, I remember, and all the fun we used to have with ball games in Macomb Park and everything. And I mentioned Taylor Pond, and guess what?
That's it. That's the homestead, Howard Better's homestead years ago.
That's where Mary grew up, right?
Yeah, my wife and her mom and dad got that house from the Howard Betters and Camp Marie. And they raised my wife up there, and now when she passed away, I painted that before she passed away, and I give a picture of it, a photograph to all her sisters and brothers.
Now, did you look at a photograph to paint it, or how did you do that?
That came from 1957. There was a watercolor of some individual that happened to be up in the area and painted it on watercolors. And I just took and re-photographed it into oil.
I love it.
Painted it into oil.
I love it. So what year did you do that? Before she died, you said?
Yeah, it's about 93. Yeah,
Somewhere back in 93?
It says it on it. I think it's 93 or 92.
Now, these paintings that we're going to look at today cover the whole spectrum from your early work right up to the present time, and things have changed a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah, I've gotten an idea of, I got sick and tired of painting landscapes. Landscapes are fun, but after a while, you just got to change, you know? It's just like everybody else. You've got to change your room. They change the colors of your house, everything else. I had to change my way of doing things.
And you did, and we're going to look at that. Now, what's the next one?
That's just that painting. I started off on I was going to make some mountains, and because mountains are kind of easy to make for some people. But then when I turned around, I got the mountains, I didn't know what else to do, and I see they're kind of like Rocky Mountains, but then the bottom part of it is like the Adirondacks. So you got the Adirondacks and you got Rocky Mountains.
That's what you were talking to us about before.
Two different places.
So why not?
Great.
Whatever goes on in your mind,
You can build anything you want to build.
that's what counts. All right, how about the next one over the air conditioner there?
There's 3 peaks. I just did it because there was 3 peaks. I was building mountains again. But then I turn around, and as I get to the bottom part, you can see the ledges. The ledges are from this area here, like up in go over Boca Moonshine, the ledges that are over there.
Oh, yeah.
And then just a pond in the bottom. You know, just something to say where you could go fishing.
Now, do you have special brushes that are made especially for you, or how do you do that?
No, just the regular paint brushes. When it comes to artists, they use a lot of fan brushes, and I can't use a fan brush because of the way I just can't apply it to the canvas right. And I can't use a palette knife. It just doesn't, I can't get it to the canvas the right way. So a lot of my painting just comes from a brush. Just a plain, I only have 3 or 4 brushes that I use.
Come on.
3 or 4
Whatever
brushes.
works, right?
Yep, take what you got and make it work.
Well, somebody has to help you set up, right?
Yep, I got the girls, they helped me set up. I put it on my lap here, and I got a canvas, I got a palette set up, and got an easel. And once I get going, I'm just good to go. I can paint 2-3 hours at a time, or half an hour, depending on if I get stagnant. Sometimes I can look at it and I can't go any farther. Sometimes
It's like a writer's block, you know? You just
I
can't
get
do
that.
it.
And sometimes that's why you have to have 2-3 paintings going at a time.
Oh, all right. Now, what are we looking? Are we looking down below now, Cal? Okay, down there. That's a little cabin down there.
Yep.
More mountains.
Yep, that's all it is mountains from out west, and the logs are from around this area. Just a little cabin, just something to say I was bored and I just wanted a quick painting. Then the next painting right next to it is a painting of up in Maine. I got a picture of a postcard, and it was just a little village in Maine. So, and I got a girl. One of my nurses was from Maine, and I painted it, and I painted 2 of them. I gave her one, and I kept one to send to Switzerland, because Switzerland is a place that you have to send your paintings. They have to, once they see them, and they say you show them you're doing your work, then they send you your paycheck every month. But you got to send them to them at least once a year, a whole bunch. It's anywhere from 10 to 50 paintings you can send.
What do you send? Photographs of each painting?
No, you send the individual paintings.
Oh, no kidding.
'Cause then they scan them and put them on a computer disk. 'Cause then they keep them over there and they send you back your paintings. And if one of your paintings get accepted to be on the calendar or greeting cards, and somebody wants to buy that painting, the Switzerland will call me back up and say, hey, number 2982, whatever number it is.
Oh, God.
That painting, if there's somebody wants to buy it in Argentina, you just send them the painting and they'll give you the money for it. They don't get your money. You get all the money for the painting. They only have copyrights.
So you've done that before?
I haven't sent any of my paintings like that, but I got people around here that bought a lot of paintings.
And have any of them been on greeting cards yet?
Yeah, I got one that's been on a calendar.
That counts, you know.
Yep, I got in the year 2000 calendar in October. I think I got the calendar here.
Oh, that's
I got the painting here somewhere. I'll show it as we go through.
Oh, that's absolutely wonderful. All right, where do you want to go next? You want to look at, where are you looking? Down below there, Cal?
Just the log the bridge. I mean, covered bridge.
We if he needs to move the camera, we'll just move the camera and take a look at some more. Then we're looking down below. I see you made a copy of the Taylor Pond house.
Yep, that was going to be for a friend, and actually, I don't know why it's here. I gave it away. It must be they didn't want it. Give it back.
Well, maybe they let us borrow it just for this occasion.
Maybe they did.
Yeah, is that a covered bridge next to it?
Yep, just another covered bridge. I wanted to paint the covered bridge in J, but when I got ready to paint it, it was gone. Remember how we had that?
Oh, believe me, I know. I got thousands of feet of video of that somewhere in my house of when they were taking it all apart. I cried a lot when they started tearing that down. I thought it would never be re-erected, and they keep saying it will be, but it's not yet, is it, Cal? I don't think so.
It's up, but it's not back where it belongs.
That's what I mean, yeah.
It's sitting there. I mean, I'm waiting for it to get back. I'll paint it someday.
Oh, okay. So that was in your head somewhere,
Yeah,
huh?
that's it. That's all.
All right, let's go up on the wall.
Boy, there's a picture that.
I like that one. I really, really like that.
Can you know something? You guys can look at all these paintings and look back at that one, and that took me 45 minutes.
You have got to be kidding me.
2 20-minute sessions or 25-minute sessions.
But it's special.
You know what's special about it?
What?
I had to go to Atlanta, Georgia for an art show. There was like 135 artists went worldwide. They went to this art show. Switzerland. They paid my way down there. They paid 5-star hotel, the whole 9 yards.
Oh.
I mean, it was unbelievable. The money. I bet you they spent $7,000, $8,000 just on me to go there and have fun and be there for a week.
That's great.
But that painting is the one they picked to be on the art show. Out of hundreds of paintings they had to choose from, they had to pick that one.
See?
I say, why did they pick that painting? I got ones I painted 40.
Well, you don't see it the same way other people do. I was impressed the first moment I looked at it. I really, really love it.
Well, I think because it's different. It doesn't. The outsides aren't finished. It's just a little
Well,
peek
there's
hole.
more to it than that. It's the subject matter too, and you framed it all just beautifully. And is that right out of your head or what?
Yeah, just a little bit of nothing.
Yeah, a little bit of nothing. My foot.
You know,
Two 20-minute sessions.
Well, here's the part about it. I got the picture when I went to Atlanta, Georgia. Al Gore was vice president at the time before, and I got my picture taken with Al Gore in that picture with that painting.
Did you really?
Again, it's like, of all my paintings, why this one? And I said, so now it's really important.
Well, it is really important because it's good, and it pleases me to look at it, and I hope the camera and the people through the eyes of the camera feel the same way about it. That's just great. Well, I love those paintings so far. Now, we've got stacks of them on the couch, and I'm going to try to spotlight them one at a time. So we'll shut off the camera for a moment, and I'll get out over there, and we can talk about it.
We'll do the lighthouse first.
Oh, the lighthouse right over in the corner. Yeah, talk about the lighthouse.
That's a lighthouse in New Hampshire. Right on the border of New Hampshire. I don't know the name of it, but I had a lady staying here with me after my wife passed away. I need somebody to help me out. And she was staying here, and she likes lighthouses, so I decided I'd paint her a lighthouse. And like a lot of these paintings, I paint two at a time, the same exact painting.
Come on.
Well, yeah, because you can take and paint one painting, and as you're painting that one, and you're using blue paint or something, you could take the same blue, go to the other painting, and paint the same thing. So you got two paintings going. One I'll give to the person I want to give to. The other painting, I'll send it to Switzerland because
See, I never even thought, who would think of that? I would never think of that.
Well,
Only Jack Stone would know enough to do two paintings.
Well, by doing it that way, you're getting paid, you're giving away one for somebody to be happy, and you're getting your paycheck with the other one. So what I did
It's never a bad idea to get a paycheck, you know.
So I painted one for her, and I sent that one to Switzerland. And on the back of these paintings, if you look on the back of it, they're all stamped.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Once they get them and they've scanned them, they stamp it and send it back.
They send it back, and they got the copyrights to that painting. It's all stamped. They're all certified. So any of my paintings that are certified someday, if I ever make it to the top of the line, as far as a full an association of handicap artists, if I ever get to be a full artist, my paintings would be worth a lot more money.
Well, I think they're worth a great deal right now because they take, each one of those paintings is a mirror of your mind, and you have a pretty fabulous mind as far as I'm concerned. All right, I'm going to move over there and take the paintings one at a time, and we'll talk about them, okay?
You got it.
All right. We're talking with Jack Stone in Woods Mills. If you just turned on your television set, you missed a whole lot of this. I hope you get a chance to see it again. We're having a good time. I'm having a good time. I don't know about you, Jack.
Oh, I like this.
I wanted to tell this story about you for a very long time. I'm just so delighted you called me the other day and we got it together so soon. All right, let's talk about the bear.
Well, when you talk about pictures, see, that's two or three different pictures in one. The mountains in the back, I was making a different painting. I had the mountains in the back. It was going to be a scene from like Colorado, Wyoming area. And then what happened is I goofed up. I was trying to make a sunset, and it didn't work out, so I took on the right-hand side in the back. I covered it up with a bunch of trees.
Yes, you've got to be kidding me.
Because, when you're a painter, you can do that,
Oh, Picasso did that too.
Yeah, so
if we scrape that off, we'd see a whole bunch of other stuff.
Cover your mistakes, and you make mistakes look better. Some of my mistakes are better than the actual product.
I love it.
And so we just put a river in there, and then one of the girls that was works with me here, she liked bears, and I've never painted a bear. That's the first bear I ever painted.
That's a good bear. Looks like a real bear, and that's a couple years ago now, right?
Yeah, that's a few years ago. Yeah. But I just started liking painting animals, so that was my first bear I ever painted.
That's great. I think I'm hearing thunder in the outside. My dogs at home are going to be going absolutely nuts because they hate it. Oh, wait a minute. We changed seasons here.
So that's not hard of it. That would be 98, wouldn't it? Or 90?
Yes, 98.
The ice storm.
Oh, come on. Is it the ice storm?
Yeah, just something in the ice storm. You know, everything's broken down. Just the trees, a little bit of the ice storm.
Isn't that amazing? All those years ago, and people are still talking about it. Calvin has so much film or videotape that he took back then, and most of that hasn't even been aired yet, has it?
No.
One of these days, when you ever get 5 minutes to himself, he's going to put that together, and there'll be an ice storm special that the Weather Channel will be proud to look at. Every now and again, they repeat a special. Boy, look at this sunset.
Yeah, that's
or sunrise.
That's Loon Lake.
Oh, boy.
Yep, and actually, I'll show you later. I got that picture made it all the way to the world. That's been around the world. That one.
Has it really?
Yep, that got on the calendar. The calendar of 2000.
Ooh.
And that's made me some money.
That's great.
Because wherever they market it, if wherever it goes, they pay you accordingly. So they probably, go put it this way, in the United States we have, I think, over 2.5 million subscribers to our association. So that's more than 2.5 million times that picture got sent out for each person to get a calendar.
Isn't that
That's only the United States. Because we're in 48 different countries. I don't know how many places else that probably could have went.
You've got an impact all over the globe here.
We're getting there.
Oh, I love it. That's also a very bright and impressive painting. I'll be very careful as I set him up here. Hey, guess what? Another lighthouse.
Yeah, Nubbles, they call it Nubbles Lighthouse in Maine.
Yeah,
Nibbles or Nubbles? That's just one. And
I think I've been there.
And there's another one that's two paintings. Actually, that painting went to Switzerland. Okay, remember the little girl in Plattsburgh? She broke her back snowboarding a few years back, and they had I sent another painting, the opposite painting of that one. I sent it to the hospital, and they raffled it off. They got a lot of money for it, $3,000-4,000 or
No kidding.
something like that. And the doctor that won it is Dr. Geez, put me on the spot to remember his name.
He knows who he is.
He's up in Ross's Point or Champlain and Ross's Point area. The doctor, Racine. Yeah, Dr. Racine is the one that won the painting. He's got it somewhere in his thing, but I got the original. I got the twin.
You got that's amazing. Twin paintings. I never would have thought of that. All right, I like that one. Oh, look at this next scene. That's another beauty, Jack.
That's a picture in Maine. That's what you call a salt box house. In
Yeah,
Maine,
I just love the colors.
got the sunshine comes up, the sun coming up.
Is it a real scene or is it a...
Just a picture out of a magazine. Just took it out of a
So it
magazine.
could be nature that inspires you. It could be a photograph. It could be another painting. It could be something you see driving down the road.
Yeah, 2, 3 in 1 sometimes.
Yeah,
I just
know.
get something, I'll get a tree. I remember what a tree looked like, and I'll stick that tree in the middle of somebody else's lawn.
How you could remember what an individual tree looks like is absolutely beyond me, but nothing about you surprises me anymore. Look at this one. There's a combination of things.
There you go.
Boy.
This is one of those combinations. There's no place like that in the world.
No place like that in the world.
You
But
got
it's
the- you
kind of
got-
a fantastic thing, isn't it?
Well, you got your Rocky Mountains in the background. Okay, then you got those sand rock. I don't know what the heck they are. I was looking at the pictures in Arizona. Not
Yeah, I was
in,
going to say Arizona somewhere.
So, you know how they have these big rocks? They're
Yeah.
just sand rocks like. So I stuck some of there in the middle. I don't know how the heck they got there, but anyways, I put them there. I didn't know what else to do, so I went back to down here on on the Interstate 87 going down. You know when you go down the interstate, down the side there's swamp, with all the old swamps and the dead trees. You just put a little bit of 87, Interstate 87 along with some Arizona rocks and some
That's
Rocky
a
Mountains.
little combo painting there. I really love that one. That's really very interesting. That'll attract some attention. You like mountains, don't you?
So that's what I did. I kept painting mountains and sceneries. And after a while, I just got to the point, I got to change, you know?
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with mountains.
No.
You and a lot of other people have taken pictures of...
So you
mountains.
realize that we're in an area where there's beautiful mountains. People don't realize, because you go out, go to Kansas. The biggest mountain you'll find out there is a pile of dirt.
Yeah.
Top of a truck.
Yeah.
Just a little pile of dirt. There's no mountains, no
People who
nothing.
don't have mountains and don't have that
Or green.
Yeah.
Things that are green. The only thing you have green in places like that is like corn or something growing.
I visited friends in the deserts of California, Southern California, a few years back, and even the mountains were brown. I had to go a long ways to the top of a mountain before I found a little village that was almost like Lake Placid. But everything you look at nearby you is brown. The only thing that's green is if they got underwater sprinkler system, you know.
People don't realize.
Yeah.
They don't realize how nice we got it around here.
Oh boy, we certainly do. That's really nice. And the last one over here is, guess what?
Another lighthouse.
Another lighthouse.
That's up in Wisconsin.
Really?
Yep, there was a lighthouse up in Wisconsin, and I got a picture of a postcard in the mail. Okay, the only thing is the postcard I got was the same lighthouse, but it was in wintertime. It was all icy. But I couldn't do it icy. I started like that, and that's the way she ended up.
It's really, really nice. Everybody's fascinated by lighthouses. A lot of people collect paintings and pictures of lighthouses and so on, so everybody likes to see them. There's a nice study, a couple of trees, birch trees.
What it is I put it all green because a lady asked me one time, and that's another one that's a double. A lady asked me about if I could paint a painting according to what she had in her living room as far as colors to work with.
Oh, color coordinating the paintings now, huh?
So what we did is we just softened it up. Just took a regular painting that could have been with the blue sky and normal and turned around and made it all, how would you say, doesn't it look swampy? Doesn't it look like a eerie?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Well, that's what she wanted, something like that. She wanted it to look, she wanted it to look like that because she took the other one. She was happy. So I took one of them, sent to Switzerland, and one sent to her.
I love it. All right. Very, very nice.
So we've already did that.
Oh, we did these. All right. Let's go get these now. I guess that's a good place to set them up. Another tree.
Yep. It's all it is pictures like, I got that picture of up in Trout Pond.
Trout pond, yeah.
You go up through Trout Pond and you can go, because you go through the pond, there's some little areas you can see the pond.
Yeah.
So I started off with some mountains in the back. Then I turned it, because those mountains, Rocky Mountains, are easy to paint. The Adirondack Mountains aren't easy because they're not as easy for me. Anyways, I just turned around and took a little picture of up there in Trout Pond, little peek in there, and just like looking off the top of the mountain and down into the pond.
You know, you get, I don't know if that's inbred into somebody, if you had to learn it, because you get good balance in your pictures. Did they just start out that way, or did you have to learn how to balance things so they look right?
I just took
it. Just
it.
Happened, huh?
Just go to it. So when you get done, sometimes when you're up close to it, it looks different. When you get back away, you say, wow, really different.
And when you look at it, when you paint a painting 10 years ago and then you look at it now, it looks even different now when you have the perspective of time, you know.
Sometimes I say, how the heck did I do that? Because some of my paintings, I don't even know if I could do them now as good as I did them back then. Everything's different.
It's the moment that counts, isn't it?
You got it.
It's the moment. All right. This one is incredible for another reason, at least as far as I'm concerned, because it looks like it was painted 150 years ago, or 200 or 300 years ago.
Well, what I did
It has
is,
that wonderful antique look about it.
the biggest thing is that was a challenge. They said I couldn't paint flowers. Well,
Guess
I didn't
what?
think I did, but I don't. They're different to me. But I did try. I try anything, and that's lately. I just started doing more or less the different things now. The animals, the flowers, and I got hooked on animals pretty good. I like the animal business now.
Yeah, all it took was painting one bear to get you started on that.
That bear was the one that started me. But I'll show you some in a couple more paintings.
I'm going to take a look at it. I like that. I really, really like that painting right there. Guess what? More mountains.
That's all it is mountains, and you like. That's the same thing. That's just a picture of the Rocky Mountains and some more Adirondack bottoms. You know, the brooks and ponds.
I love it. This one is another one of those special ones, like the one I liked up on the wall, and it has a nice aspect to it.
Yep, that was very similar to the one up on the wall, and what it is I found out that not finishing the outside makes people, it's unique, it's very different.
Yeah.
And that's what turned around and made, that's another twin. Because when you make the twins like that, I got to get paid for one and I sell the other one. Get paid both ways.
Not a bad idea. And that one dates back 6 years. It looks like 2 zeros down there,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one. Well, we've seen the pictures on this side of the room. We're going to move the camera and take a look at some animals, all right?
Now we're going to get the new stuff.
Okay. I like the animals. We got a little thunderstorm going outside on this 30th day of May 2006. Inside, the roof doesn't leak, so we don't care. So what do you got here?
This is my newest creation. I just started working with animals. Something because I was sick and tired of landscapes all the time. So I said, heck, I got to try something new. So I started this little chipmunk. Charlie the chipmunk. The only thing he's not done yet. He needs some whiskers, and I need to finish up the log. The board, I mean the log he's sitting on, it's not finished yet.
Looks beautiful to me. I like him. So that's a work in progress. You haven't even signed it yet.
Nope.
Oh, this is a sneak preview. That's very light. I don't know what feels lighter than the others. All right. Here's Hootie the owl.
Yeah, he's not done either. Just halfway done, maybe.
Oh, he's nice.
Yeah, he's getting there.
Is that from a photograph or from your head or from?
Just a photograph. I seen one sitting in a magazine.
Oh yeah, he's nice. That's you got a real knack for the animals, for the birdies. Okay, and we got a nice outdoor scene in the winter time.
See, the association I work for, they like calendars and they like pictures that can go on greeting cards. A lot of my greeting cards are for Christmas. So I'm hoping that this kind of picture will help for Christmas. Be a nice one to have for Christmas, you know.
That's perfect. We got a lot of deer in this Adirondack region, that's for sure. This one I've got to have to move a little bit sideways.
Still the same deal with the deer.
Another great, a lot of different colors in there, Jack.
Yeah. Sometimes your skies are that color, but you know, it's you see it, now you don't. It's there and then it's gone.
You know,
I try to capture it.
It's very, very difficult to get all the colors of a sky, a morning sky, or a night sky, or a dusk in a painting. Because there's just so many wonderful combinations.
The one thing that nobody notices here in this area, because if you happen to get the road to Vermont and come home in the evening, boy, we have some beautiful sunsets over here that are crazy. But we're so close to the mountains, we don't see them. But if you're in Vermont and you stay over there till 8, 9 o'clock in the evening, boy, our side of the lake is beautiful.
Yeah. I'd love to bring you to we go camping every summer for a couple of weeks at a place called Coles Creek up on the St. Lawrence River between Messina and Waddington off Route 37. And the sunsets across that St. Lawrence River from Canada, and the storms are a little incredible too, but the sunsets, I've taken thousands of pictures and movies of those sunsets, and we just marvel at them every single night when it's not too cloudy, you know.
Oh, I got one more painting I want to show you.
All right, let's stop and go get it.
Okay.
Well, I'm not Bird Burdan, but I can tell that it's raining. I can hear it hitting the roof, baby. It's coming down now. That thunder wasn't for nothing. It's sweeping through here. Oh, Calvin didn't leave his windows down. That's all I got to say. Anyway, we have a beautiful, first of all, what the heck is this wood stove out here? That's kind of neat.
That's was my grandma's, my mom's.
Come on.
Yeah, actually, and I've had it here since about 15 years.
Wow, Siphon Summit A.
Yeah.
Isn't that great with a warmer on the top and a draft and a...
Could have gotten divorced one day over that stove.
Oh no.
One of my customers came in and he laid $15 $100 bills on the counter right on it. Says, I'm taking that stove home with me. I says, you are? I says, you better have some money. I was just kidding. He started laying them out. He kept laying them out.
Ooh.
And we didn't have much money at the time, boy. $100 bill would have been happy.
Yeah.
He put 15 of them there, and I said, wow. My wife looked at me. She said, if that goes, you go too. I said, buddy, take your money.
You didn't have to think about it too long.
Didn't have to think long.
All right, let's talk about this painting here.
Yeah.
I love it. You and me.
What I did is I'm starting to paint paintings that will work with the association, because, you know, anybody can paint a landscape. Their landscapes are landscapes and more landscape. You see, when you start doing something like this is something that would go on a greeting card that would probably be good for everybody. You know, think of it. It's a picture that you and me. You know, it could be anybody.
It's just absolutely wonderful. But how did you conjure this picture up?
A little picture come out of a magazine again, just a picture of the two people, the kids. Then I put the background in it by myself.
Just put it all together, and that's how it turned out.
Yep.
I love it. And you haven't signed that one yet.
That one ain't done either.
I love it.
And then the little ones are behind it.
Well, you know, I've got to look at these because I've seen this kind of art at art shows, craft shows. Now this is real slate that came off somebody's roof.
Yeah. Going to the young boys that work for me in the fall, who does roofing in the summertime for Doug Dutilly.
Yeah.
And he got those off. He got me like 40 pieces like that. So
No kidding. That's getting kind of rare, you know, to find the real stuff.
Right.
So especially that aren't broken so bad, you know.
So they got the holes in them, so they put a piece of leather in the back of it, and they'll have a place to hang it.
Not too bad. You know, I was talking with somebody who's done a lot of roofing, and they told me, you probably can't see the other one from there, can you? Very good. Yeah, you can see that one. They told me that the reason they fall off the roof is that the old nails rust off. And they get a windstorm or something and they fall out. And a lot of times they'll take them off a roof, number them, and put good nails in there, you know, like copper nails or something that aren't going to rust,
right,
and replace the whole roof, because the slate roofs are really valuable. And we did a show at Trinity Church, downtown Plattsburgh, where they replaced the entire slate roof with, it looks like it, but it's not real. It's some kind of a composite material that looks like slate. It's amazing.
Wow.
So, anyway, you probably couldn't paint as good on it, though. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean?
You got it.
All right. Are there any other pictures that you want to show us?
No, that's better.
All right. I want to get over here just a moment. We don't even have to shut the camera off, because we got things to talk about that we haven't talked about. Maybe the rain will let up in time for us to get out of here. We've already recorded over an hour of material, but there's so much stuff we haven't done. First of all, you don't just have a smokehouse. You got a business here that's beginning to thrive. It started with a slaughterhouse, right?
Years ago when I started with Donald Newell in '83, we were just a slaughterhouse where we slaughtered the farmer's beef and the pigs and the local animals for just custom. And then we got into USDA inspected, where we started selling meat. And that started in '80. In August of '83, I got hurt, so that had to all come to a halt. But then they said, "You're all done. He's done now. He broke his neck. He's paralyzed, and he can't do this, can't do that." But in '85, September of '85, I was back in business.
Were you by 85?
85, yeah. September of '85. I went in business for 3 years till '88, and I was over on Route 3, where around that gun shop used to be.
Yeah.
I stayed there for 3 years, and I tried to buy the building from the fella, but he had some paperwork that wasn't right, and I couldn't buy the building. And we weren't making as much money as I should, because I couldn't be there all the time. Because when you're not out of business, it don't do well. I don't care how you run it. If you ain't got part of yourself in it, it's not going to run as good as it should. So I gave up that business in '88 over there. In '89, I took all my equipment out of there. In '89, I took a little garage that I had here at the house, and we made it into a little meat shop. The first year we did 88 deer for the hunters.
Did you really? The first year?
First year we did 88 deer, and ever since then it gets doubles and triples and goes crazy every fall now.
No, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but you had a couple of fires along the way.
Don't talk about that, Tom.
Well, you know, it's part of the picture. I mean, we're inspiring people here today because, you know, many of the people watching this program would have given up when the first piece of bad luck happened to Jack Stone. Now look what happened.
1975, I had my house, my first house I bought. My wife and I were married, and we went to my dad's for Thanksgiving. Come home, or we got called from the fire department. My house was burning down. So we had $15,000 worth of damage on the house. It was like a $35,000 house. So we fixed it, got it all prettied up, took the insurance money, and I was a contractor, I could build. So we could take $10 and make $10 value and make it better. It wasn't like having to pay a contractor to do it. So we got it nice, and I get it the following year, almost to the day, the same Thanksgiving weekend. The house burns down again.
Is that cruel irony or what?
It went right to the ground.
Oh my gosh.
Straight to the ground. It wasn't even wheelbarrows full of dust left. Junk, nothing.
Where were you when that happened the second time?
At my dad's house. For Thanksgiving.
Who knows what forces there are at work, Jack? Think about it. Who knows the reason? You can't even ask the reason anymore, because it happens. You know what the old bumper sticker says.
Yeah, I know.
It just happens. So how do you build from the ashes again? You just pick yourself up and do it.
Yep, life goes on, whether you want to live it or die with it, you know?
Yeah. So you rebuilt.
I rebuilt. I took that, and I think that's why my first wife left. We left each other, weren't working out, because she couldn't take it like I did. Twice, you can't imagine a girl, her house burns down twice.
Yeah.
Because then we're not getting along. So that divorce came along, and I started over again. Then I bought my new slaughterhouse. I didn't own that. Actually, it was in the newspaper not last week or 2 weeks ago, 25 years ago this May.
I saw that.
Yeah, it was my slaughterhouse. I lost $60,000 worth of damages on that. I wasn't even there. I had one of the fellows working for me. We did some cleaning up the brush in the back. We got it all. The fire was all out with just a little bit of smoldering. It must have been 60, 70 feet from the building. And I had went to town, and the wind, they say, changed. And it got into the barn, and the whole darn barn was gone out. 3 barns.
Some people are plagued by fire after fire after fire, and some people never have one, and there's no accounting for it. So you just have to move like you said. You just got to move forward, right?
Sometimes it's hard.
I bet you sometimes it's hard. Is it hard even now when you talk about stuff like this?
February of '05 this year. Last year it's February 6th now.
Yeah,
May. My butcher shop right here in the house. It burnt again. 4 fires, not one.
This is
4 of them.
Beyond what most of us can understand.
I was in the house. We had smoked some meat out there, and we were all done smoking. We turned the smoker off about 6 o'clock. We're in the house talking, a couple of us, and a neighbor comes driving by, and he knocks on the door. And he said, "Did you know your butcher shop was on fire?" I said, "What?" He go out, and it was gone. What it was is the door casing around the smoker itself was wood, and all the rest of the whole smoker was cement. But somehow that burnt up the casing and got into the attic, and it was gone.
Wow. These are, I'm sorry to bring up these sore subjects, but it's a part of who you are. And I want people to realize that, it's the old song. You knock yourself down, you dust yourself off, you get up and you start all over again. And here we are today with hope for the future, which is unbelievable. Now, let's talk a little bit more about this business. You were telling me on the phone about all the things you make and sell here, just to let people know that the list goes on and on and on.
Website?
Huh? Oh, there's a website. What is that?
That's a website. It's called Shop the Adirondacks. And that tells some of the things a lot of the things that we sell here. Like we got Zach's venison snacks. We talked about Zach.
Let's see if we can look at it.
Can we look at it on the computer?
Sure.
All right, let's go do it. How did this website get started?
Well, right up the street here is a good friend of mine, John Master. And he had a friend of his, Joe Yasmin, that lived here years ago.
He's the guy, my good friend, the young kid that grew up in Morrisonville. So he lives out in Southern California, and
Joe was up here talking to John because he was buying a house down in Plattsburgh. And he was waiting to take his, to go home with the airplane, and it was going 2 o'clock in the morning. He was Yancey, didn't know what to do. He seen my sign up the street saying Stone Smokehouse. He said, "I'm going to go check that out, see what that's all about." Well, half an hour after he was here and him and I were talking, I'm involved in getting a new website. 'Cause Joe's, that's what Joe does out in California. He builds websites. He's a consultant for a lot of big corporations that build.
Yeah.
He builds websites for people. So now we're in business together, and well, he's in business with my daughter. I know I'm doing the work, but my daughter and him are in business together.
Yeah, you got a lot of, it's Shop the Adirondacks, a little red, white, and blue there. And let's click on, whoops, display. This cannot be displayed.
I wonder if the, just what happened with the,
I wonder if the lightning had anything to do with it. Let me, whoop. Antler lights, what the heck is that all about?
oh, I got a good friend, Bud Patricia, down in Keene. And on our website, everything in there is, if it's in the Adirondacks, you're going to be able to find it on this website soon.
That Adirondack name has a charm to it, you know?
Yeah, it has a charm, and a lot of people from other areas really like having something from home or something from the Adirondacks. A lot of people were born here, but they moved away. But they like to have a piece of home, so they can order straight from here and get what they want right from out of the Adirondacks.
Now, where do this guy makes them, gets the antlers himself?
Yep.
and-
He buys antlers from the hunters. He buys them from they have deer farms that raise deer up.
Yeah.
And just the elk antlers and that, they sell them just the antlers. The deer lives every year, but his antlers are on the wall somewhere. On somebody's chandelier.
Isn't that cool? All right, let me go backwards. Calvin says, are you sure you've run things before? Yeah, we've done this before. And there's one picture, there's another picture, there's another picture. Let me go down a little bit more. Oh, some of these are really fancy.
Yeah, some of them are $3,000-$4,000.
You gotta be kidding. Look at that one. Wow. And look at that. Look at this one. What kind of antlers are those?
Those are fallow deer.
No kidding. Wow, that's really neat. All right, let's go back. We won't be standing outside taking a picture of it, so we're going to use the picture off the computer because it's raining like the old Harry right now.
My God.
But tell us what you actually do in this shop, in this smokehouse.
First of all, we got 4 or 5 different things that happen. Every fall, we take care of the hunters that bring their deer in, and they're bare. We cut them and wrap them up, take them one way or another, whatever they need done with them. Then we're in the middle of the winter, from January till April. We take fish off the lake. We buy the fish from the fishermen. We package them up and we sell them whole. You know, don't even have to cut them up. We just we buy them in live weight and sell them live weight. Then you got, now that we've expanded ourselves, we were making Slim Jims and jerky here, selling them to the local grocery stores. We had about 25 stores. Well, it got to the point where we can't keep up no more. So I paid another company to make them because they've got a machine that does the work of 4 people.
Yeah.
So they can make them quicker than I can. So now I've expanded. I've got stores as far away as Binghamton, Albany, Syracuse, Utica, with one distributor. And I just got a new distributor out of Western Pennsylvania that's doing Illinois, Pennsylvania, Southern New York, and New Jersey.
And you're making the Slim Jims out of different kinds of meat or just...
Right now they're being made with venison. So we started, that's all right. Now we make a pickled sausage that we make it here. We make the sausage itself, we pickle it, and that's going in a lot of the stores too, locally.
I like it already. You're making me drool here.
And then with our bison, we decided with this Michigan sauce, we wanted to have something on our website of the Adirondacks, but we couldn't make it out of beef because I'm not USDA inspected, but with this exotic meat license, I can do it out of bison, because bison's an exotic meat. Actually, there's the label right there on the wall. So you can see it right there?
Oh, right here on the thing here.
Yeah, that's the label. That's going to be on the bottle.
Oh, no kidding.
So it's going to be bison gourmet meat sauce. But if you look at...
I'll bet you it tastes just as good or better than beef. Because it is better than beef in many ways, isn't it?
It's a lot higher quality meat for number one. And the thing of it is we're averaging about 95% meat lean.
Yeah, I was going to say it's much leaner meat.
Much leaner.
I've had the hamburgers, the bison hamburgers.
I've had buffalo wings.
Oh, yeah. Remember they were calling them beefalo, the cross between the...
I worked at that. Actually, some of the equipment in my shop today is the equipment I got from Frank Akey way back when.
Way back when out there, huh?
Yep, they were out running the beefalo deal.
North Country?
over North Country Shopping Center.
Oh my goodness.
Through the years, I've gotten a lot of your butcher shops have been in business and went out of business here and there. So I can go through the shop and I can point out a lot of things I've gotten through different shops as they close down. I even got some there lately from LeBear's.
Sure.
When they closed down, I got some of their stuff.
Well, there's an icon in the business for all those years, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
I keep gaining equipment here and there. Equipment is expensive, boy, I'll tell you. You don't
Oh, it
even
sure
realize.
is.
You think it's look at a piece of little equipment and something with a $10,000 piece of machinery.
Oh yeah. Now you talked about gift baskets. Tell me about that.
Oh, that's in the website too. That's the nicest thing I think it's going to work. Because if you're in an area where, let's say you got friends in California that lived in the North Country, you can go on our website for a gift basket and you can find that gift basket. Everything in the gift basket itself is made in the Adirondacks.
All right, let's just pause a second. I'm gonna click on gift baskets here, and maybe we can get a picture of something. There you go. All right, baby.
So that gift basket, now you're looking at the apples that would be in it. They're from Northern Orchards. You got my venison sausage in it. You got my, it's going to be the Michigan sauce. You got the venison snack sticks in it.
I'll scroll down a little bit more here.
Then you got McAdams cheese.
Yeah.
The McAdams cheese is made right here in Chateauguay.
Of course it is.
And then you got the apples and the honey from, like I said, Northern Orchards. And you got the maple syrup is Parker's.
Our good friends at Parker's.
Parker's homemade, and Bruce Supernaut is supplying the jellies and jams.
Bruce is a good friend of mine. We used to do the dog and cat report a long time ago on the radio because he was a dog control officer. He might still be.
He still is, yeah,
Yeah.
he still is. You call him up and you want to order jellies and jams, you have to listen to his answer machine. If you got a problem with your dog or your cat, I'll call you when I get done, but if you want to order some jellies and jams, we can do that too.
And I don't know how many different kinds of jellies and jams.
Oh,
The man's amazing.
50, 60 different kinds
Yeah.
of nothing.
Yeah. So have we covered just about everything that you got from here?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
going to add new stuff on this
that
website
web-
all the time.
That website, we've just touched it. It's all kinds of, from hunting and fishing to you name it, it's in there already. And there's a lot more coming.
Jack, you know, we can't stop this interview without you telling us what advice you might give for somebody who's just suffered a horrible accident. Unfortunately, we have so many ways to get news these days, you know, online, radio, television, newspapers, and horrible things happen to people. You know that. And there are people who are watching this program who are suffering from what you suffered through right after you had your horrible accident. What would you say to lift them up a little bit? What would you tell them, to just hang in there or what?
I eat words for breakfast every morning and they say never. Every time I turn around, I end up doing something that I thought I'd never be able to do. Because I can walk through 6 or 7 of them real quick. When I first got hurt, I thought I wasn't going to live. So I went through that one. I thought I'd never see my children go to the prom. I dressed them and took pictures of them. I thought I'd never walk them down the aisle. I walked my daughter down the aisle. I thought I'd never have grandchildren. I got 2 grandchildren of my own. And my daughter was lucky enough to marry a fella that had 3 already. So I'm a grandpa, and I got a granddaughter that's 21 years old, and I'm only 51.
That's not a bad
So
way
I
to
got
do
all
it.
kinds of ways to do it. So I just say, no matter how hard you try, you never fail until you stop trying. Don't stop trying, it'll work.
You know, I don't think we even talked about your wheelchair race. Did we tell people about how that worked? That just blows me right off the planet.
Oh, maybe about 12 years ago, maybe. I was listening on the radio, and they had an independent race over there in Vermont. And I said, well, I got to go check it out. My daughter says, come on, Dad, we'll go. So she took me over there, and we got there, and there was like 4 or 5 people in a wheelchair and a bunch of other people. And I said, is this the place for the race? And they said, yeah. I says, am I too late? He says, no, you can go ahead and start. I said, where's everybody else? He says, oh, they already took off. I said, well, how in the heck can I win like this? So he says, well, just go. And I raced, and I went like crazy as fast. I even passed some people. Well, anyways, I get all done, and I get done, and I come in, and everybody's still sitting there. And I come in, and there 100 people are there or more, and they say, you won. I was like, how in the heck did I win? Everybody was already at the finish line. Well, I didn't know they were doing it by time.
It was time.
It was time. We were at a 6K race, which is 6.5 miles, or a 10K race, which is 6.5 miles. And when we got it done, I had 57 minutes and 14 seconds to go 6.5 miles on my wheelchair.
It would have taken me 3 days, so see?
I split my lip. I went over some cobblestone sidewalk,
God.
some brick sidewalk, and curbs. Cause I was putting it right to it. I was going as fast as I could go.
Talking about a race car driver here, the snowmobile racer.
Yeah, and I got my trophy too.
Yeah, take a look at this. We got the trophy right here. Is that
Not
cool?
big, but what does it say, Gordy? You tell them.
Well, let me see. What does it say? It says, Race for Independence 1994 10K first place.
47 wheelchairs.
Isn't that fantastic?
It was fun. It was just something to do, and it made me happy when my kids. Cause the funniest part is when we were over there racing, when we took off, we were in a hurry to get going. And what happened is one of the brakes on my wheelchair was partly on. And there was this long road down the hill. And I kept going down the road, and I kept hearing sit, 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 a little rubbing sound. And my son and my daughter and her boyfriend were with me, and he jumped out of the car. And he put my brake up while I was still going, because he followed me in the van. When we get done the race, and we come all the way back home, and I'm sitting here at the house talking to everybody. Get done talking to everybody, pow! My tire went flat right here at the house.
You gotta be kidding.
Made the whole race.
That was almost a little stroke of good luck. Let me stand up here while we finish our interview. Your tire went flat when you got home?
Yeah, right when I got home. I wasn't home about 10 minutes. I was telling everybody how fun it was, and pow! Chair blew.
You are absolutely incredible. We'll stop for just a moment, then we'll wrap up this great program. Well, we only have about 5 minutes left on our tape for this program. It doesn't seem possible that we've shot the old bull.
Yeah, that's a good place to say it here.
Shot the old bull for almost an hour and a half, but we're inside next door. We've got to see where you do business, right, Jack?
That's it.
And who is this delightful young lady standing next to you?
That's my daughter, Heather.
Heather, how are you?
Good, thank you.
She didn't have to talk too much. All she had to do was smile. Now, what do you do here every day?
Well, a little bit of everything, tell you the truth. I do some smoking. We cut up pigs. We cut up some cows. We do a lot of packaging. We do a lot of retailing. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Do you do what he tells you to do, or do you tell him what to do? I mean,
A little bit of both too.
oh, works both ways.
Yes.
Because she's getting pretty good handle on everything.
I love
Yeah.
it. Well, we didn't want to embarrass you. We just wanted to get your face on. Thanks so much for
Thank
stopping
you.
by and talking with us.
Thank you.
Now, what goes on in here that we haven't talked about, my man?
Smoking, we got the smoker usually runs.
Is that it?
Yep. We'll
Okay.
get a peek on it. It usually runs a couple times a week in the summertime and in the fall. It's running every day.
Oh, hams and bacon in there right now. You're killing me. I love it. Look at this. So now, how is that fired by an oil?
It's run by gas.
Oh, by
Yeah,
propane?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could feel. I just got a blast of it when she opened the door. It looked like a freezer, but boy, it's anything but cold in
Yeah,
there.
it's about 180, 190 degrees.
Now, there's people have been smoking meat since the beginning of time, since the caveman put a.
Everybody's got a little secret to their own, Nowadays, the biggest secret to smoking is not using a lot of salt, because people with salt, health problems, they don't want the salt.
I never thought of that.
Everybody's always complaining, this ham's too salty, that bacon's. We don't have that problem no more. We've got the salt right down to it's a good deal where there's not much salt in the product anymore.
Oh boy. So let's talk about a little bit about what's going on here right now today. What are we looking at in the background here, Jack?
So they're cutting up pork. We got the order for a bunch of pork chops. Okay, and they're making sausage. Might make sausage. They get it all together, and then they'll be wrapping up the pork. I got a lady that wants
Yeah.
150 pounds of pork chops.
Come on.
Yeah, she's having a party.
I would say that's a pretty good party. I'm going to find out where that is. I'll be there.
Yeah, they want pork chops, and we get different orders for different things all the time.
No kidding. So you're open to the public here? Can people actually come in here and?
Yeah, they can come in here. We just got situated So now they can come in and buy meat what they want. We just usually get an order from them, and they'll take care of it from there. Sometimes we have it right here in stock, whatever they're looking for.
There's one exotic meat that I didn't mention here. You didn't mention either, and that's ostrich.
Well, we got it capable of getting it, but what it is, it's so darn expensive. It's hard to have it in stock for everybody.
What the heck does it taste like?
Everybody has a different taste for everything, but so many people say a lot of things taste like chicken. Ain't that awful? From eating
If it tastes like chicken, then I'll have chicken. I'll let you eat the ostrich, and we can throw the feathers to the wind.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let me show you. I wanted to show you my pickled sausage up in the little rack in the front.
All right. See, Heather's the Vanna White of the meat business here. We got a brand, look at that. Oh, she's modeling. We got a brand new jug of the Michigan sauce made with bison, right?
That's it.
And we got the labels are on order down where somewhere?
In Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, they're coming up soon, but that's what the label's looking like. And it's not glued to the bottle yet, so that's why Heather's holding it there. And we thank you very much for doing that. Is that the only size you're going to sell it in, Jack?
Probably we'll get a quart jars afterward, but got it one step at a time.
That's one Michigan for me, you know.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one. All right, what else we got up here?
Those are pickled sausages in front.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I couldn't eat more than 20 pounds of those at a time.
There you go. You take one of them if you're a beer drinker. You got to wrap for the beer next.
Oh,
Then if you're not, it's still good too.
I can't stand it. Must be lunchtime.
The Slim Jims. You'll see a rack like this. We've got them in Gander Mountain now. The same rack.
Oh, do you really?
Yep, the Gander Mountain in Plattsburgh is taking them on. And if they do good there, they said, well, they got 102 stores that it looks good at.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. That's a nice marriage, you know it?
Yeah, if we prove ourselves there, they're looking for the rest of them, but we have to walk before we run.
And jerky, venison jerky?
Yeah.
These are all things that I dearly love, but there haven't been very many foods ever invented that I don't dearly love.
Well, and as far as the shop in the fall, we do this. We make them right here just for the hunters, because they bring in their deer and we'll make all their stuff into Slim Jims and jerkies and pickled sausage. Just about whatever they want. If it's smokable, we'll smoke it.
I love it. Listen, our time is up. Heather, thank you. Jackie Stone, thank you for inviting us here today, but thank you especially just for being the super guy that you are. We all leave here a little bit better people because of Jackie Stone. And don't ever stop. You promise me that?
Well, I got a little job coming up. The Lord says when I go down, I got another job when I get there. I got to be pushing up tulips.
Maybe he'll be pushing them up with Slim Jims if I know him. Thanks a lot, Jackie Stone.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Heather. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching this program. And who knows where we're going to be next time for our little corner.